What's up, my recovery people? I am Johnny Ray, and this is 5R Recovery. Oh man, if you missed our meeting last night, I figured I'd do a little recap. Our topic was peace, mentally, in the body, in the soul, in your heart, in your mind. What does peace mean to you? Is it a feeling you get? Where do you get it from? How do you achieve it? Right? Where does peace come from? Right? How in recovery is peace different than when we're in active addiction? We had a room full of amazing people last night share what peace meant to them. And we all kind of came to the same realization that, peace is something of quiet. It's very calming, but it comes from God. It is so easy in our recovery to say we have peace, to say we're fine, to say everything's all good. I do it all the time. People ask me, "Hey, Johnny, how you doing?" "I'm good. How are you?" It's the instant response, right? Instant response. No thought. And when it comes to peace inside of you, if you can have peace in your heart and in your soul all the time, recovery is a lot easier. And that's really what we wanted to establish in our meeting last night. We have an opportunity to be peaceful wherever we are. We have an opportunity to be peacekeepers wherever we visit. Being in peace ourselves is a great reflection on our life and also gives us the ability to help others with peace. So this weekend, I went to a very peaceful place. It's very hectic in the recovery world. That's why I'm doing this video. When you see how the world is, it is challenging in the recovery community. People relapse all the time. They get kicked out of houses. They're, sleeping on the streets. They're hungry. It is a very challenging field. And what I tend to do is to get myself so involved where I am lacking self-care. I'm lacking peace. I'm lacking sleep. I'm not taking care of myself in any way. And what it causes me to do is starts to get these negative things in my head about me not wanting to do this anymore. And I'm just being completely vulnerable and real with you. I'm always this way. This is how I act when I'm on here. This is how I act when I'm out there. This is who I am, right? And so it is challenging because I don't take vacations. It's a 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week job. And I have a real cell phone. It doesn't go to any office. It comes to me. And at 5R Recovery, we are all about your support. So when everybody needs something, they can call me and I can kind of like guide them and navigate, some of the rough waters for them. But the majority of the people that call me, they just need a fire lit under their butt, to be honest. They call everybody else and they're treated like a victim. And they're treated like, "Oh my gosh, how can we take care of you?" I don't do that. And so by the time people come to me, they have already got instilled in their head full of this, I call it propaganda in the recovery world, of how many things can another person provide for you. Well, I can tell you one thing. If you have peace in your heart, if you have peace in your soul, you're going to be able to tackle challenges a lot better. You're going to be able to navigate those waters yourself. Without peace, filled with negativity, filled with a victim mentality, you are not going to make it very far. People love to call me and act like I owe them something. I get it all the time. And it's in messages just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm on the streets and I made a bad decision and now I'm going to sleep outside and I'm freaked out about it." Awesome. Good luck. I will pray for you. Maybe next time don't make that bad decision. And they are shocked. They're like, "Oh my gosh, no. You're supposed to stop everything you're doing. And you're supposed to put me in another house. And then I'm going to screw that up. And then I'm going to come to you again. And Johnny Ray, you're going to put me in another house." Nope, not at all. In fact, you screw up with me, generally I am less inclined to help you with anything, ever. If you relapse, I want to talk about something. All right, if you relapse, we're going to talk about relapse here, and then we'll get back to peace. Yes, this is what I do. My brain fills with things. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about something. I do worst case scenario in 5R Recovery. I don't do reservations. That is an anonymous program idea that people put reservations in their mind of when they're going to use again and what that's going to look like. And then they pretty much set themselves up for failure. I don't do that. I think if you relapse, it's a choice that you made. I don't think your environment, I don't think influence, I don't think any of that stuff should affect you as a person relapsing in recovery. At 5-Hour Recovery, we want to build you up to where you have enough strength to be able to see a bag of dope and not do it. If you can't see a bag of dope and not do it, and they call them triggers, if your triggers are a bus stop or a bush that you used to sleep under or a bag of dope, or if you have this long list of triggers and this long list of reservations, there's nothing that I can do to keep you free from drugs. Nothing. So don't call me like it's my responsibility, right? It's not my responsibility. It's your responsibility. And I like to do worst case scenarios in 5-Hour Recovery. If you relapse because somebody in your family dies, I can understand that. I'm not saying I accept it or allow it. I just say I can understand that because what a trivial experience. You know, you lose your dad or your mom or your sister or your wife or your kids or whatever. That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. Can't imagine. But I can understand why somebody would instantly want to feel better or make themselves numb over something like that. So that makes sense to me. But if you relapse for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and then you come to me and want me to fix you, you will be getting the big denied. I do not do that. I do not do that. I believe what is going on in the world right now is exactly that. We are raising a generation of self-entitled jerks who think it's somebody else's responsibility to take care of them. And you can see it all over. You can see it with paying off your student loans, right? Pay your own student loans. Why do I got to pay for your student loans? I didn't go to college, right? You can see it in everything that we do. It's take care of me because I am entitled for you to take care of me. And that is the problem in our recovery world. It's so much greater than just about drug addiction and being clean and mental health and homelessness, which are all things we talk about all the time. But it's a generational fault. It's a generational problem. It's a 3-decade building people as social media influencers. And they want to come out as social media influencers. All they want to do is walk around with a freaking camera in their hand. And they want to film themselves doing absolutely everything. They care more about likes on the internet than actually having conversations with people. That is the real problem. The problem is everybody in the world wants attention. That's what it is. It's not, if we fix all of this, the getting clean and the addiction and the homelessness and the mental health, that'll all come and fix. But when you have a phone at the touch of your fingertips and you record every aspect of your life because you want other people to acknowledge you in life, and if you don't get those acknowledgments, you become depressed and you lack the instant gratification that comes with a post on Facebook. And then you get upset and then you use drugs and then you blame everybody in society for using drugs because it was their fault that they didn't like your videos. It was their fault that they didn't love you on your pictures to wherever you visited. See, I see that more and more and more. And in 5R, that's what we want to talk about. Our generation needs peace. It needs peace in here, not from anywhere else. You should be able to be on the busiest subway in the busiest city and have peace in your heart. And I believe if you have peace in your heart, we're going to start making a difference on that generational gap that we're seeing. It is a deep struggle every day watching people that I love and care about, watching people that I know, love to document their life on every little thing that they do. Every little thing. It's crazy. Here's how I looked in the morning. Here's how I looked in the afternoon. Here's what I look like out by a fire pit. Right? And why do I see all that stuff? Why is that so apparent? Because that's how people keep in touch nowadays. Like that's how you keep track of each other, right? We've lost our communication abilities. We've lost, the love and the desire to meet another person where they're at and have a conversation. That is what the problem is. Don't get me wrong. I post stuff on Facebook. I do YouTube videos for recovery. Am I just part of the problem? Probably. Am I another addition to all the stuff that I'm talking about? Sure. I like to get a good message out. But to be honest, there are so many things out there that are so disturbing when it comes to recovery. I've been seeing these prank videos lately, right? Where somebody will go and film themselves like smacking a guy's hat off his head and then running around a corner and switching shirts and then, you know, and then the guy's turning around and he's freaking angry and he comes around the corner and finally he spots the guy and he realizes he just changed his shirt and he grabs him and the guy goes, no, 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 it's a prank. It's a prank. I would punch that guy in the face. You come up to me while I'm walking on the street and you smack a hat out of my hand and you run away, I'm going to punch you in your face. Okay. Is that what we want our kids to be? Our kids that go around and mess with somebody? Someday that guy's going to get shot. In fact, I kind of hope he does. So that he'll stop doing stupid stuff like that and absolutely aggravating a person walking from their job to a Starbucks. I mean, I see them all the time. I see this. Those people lack peace because they need attention from social media, from the internet, from other people in order to have peace in their hearts. If they're not getting 1,000 views, then they're, oh my gosh, freaking out. My life is over. I don't do this video for the views. I do it because maybe something I say will resonate with somebody and they'll comment or they'll subscribe and they'll say, hey, Johnny Ray, what you said, I've noticed that too. I've noticed that we live in a crazy society nowadays where being clean is just enough and all these people are jerks. They're jerks. They're not out there being good people. They're being clean, but they're still hustling. They're still breaking into places. They're still doing horrible things. It's not okay. They're still scamming Walmart with tags and all this. I mean, I see it every single day. I'm clean, but I'm still on 5 different medications, and it's your responsibility to make sure I have those medications. That's what we live in. It's disturbing. That's why I had to get away. That's why I went to an island where it was peaceful, and it was. But the whole time I'm there, I'm thinking, when I get back, it is going to be that much worse when I get back. Don't get me wrong. I love helping people, but there are only certain people that want that help. Everybody else, they want different kinds of help. The people that we help at 5R, they are ready to make a change. And if they don't make that change, I wash my hands of them immediately. That is hard. But if everybody else did that, maybe they would make a change. We are preventing people from hitting rock bottom, folks. Everywhere. People are not having to live on the streets because we're making sure they have a bed here, and then they get housing here, and then they get their rent paid here, and then they blah, blah, blah. You can get your meals, and you can take a shower, and you're doing all this stuff. I mean, why on earth would anybody want responsibility compared to that? Like, I had to go to the island, Hat Island. It was amazing. I had to go to the island and be around things like no technology, right? No running water, right? Like no electricity for the most part, like that I had to be brought down to like this bare minimal thing. And when you're on an island like that, all your responsibility washes away. Well, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that like permanently? God, I would love it if I didn't have to do anything every single day and you took care of me. Gosh, that would be nice. I don't got to do anything. I wake up in the morning, coffee's brought to me. Bring me my coffee, You go out in the day, oh, my gas tank is full. Thank you. And you have somebody drive you. I mean, just when is it going to freaking end? It's not. We have it all the time. There's programs right now that drive people to treatment. I know the people that do it. They're awesome. I love these people. But get your own butt to treatment. Why is it my responsibility to drive you to treatment? Does anybody ever think about that? Why does nobody sit there and go, yeah, why is it my responsibility to take you to treatment? It's not. It's not your responsibility to do any of it. Why do I got to call for your housing? Why do I got to call for your vouchers? I don't. And you won't ever see me do it. People have asked me, Johnny, will you put me up in a hotel room? Absolutely not. I don't even put myself in a hotel room. So why would I put you in a hotel room? It's weird. You need peace from God. You need the presence of God, the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ, in your heart and in your soul. That's what you need. And if it takes you to get away for a couple days, I also have friends in recovery that work extremely hard. April, okay, she works so hard every single day at helping people. She needs a vacation, and when she goes away, I hope she finds peace. It's so easy to say, man, I have peace. Of course I do. I have hope. I have love. I have faith. But do you really have it? What does that feel like? I think this is where we start to see the separation in people. It's extremely traumatizing. Like kids, man. Kids, all they want to do is to be noticed by people they've never met before. Doesn't that blow your mind? That's how we're going to fix the clean issues, right? That's how we're going to fix addiction. That's how we're going to fix it, is when we start exposing the world for what they really are and what we really are. We are people that need self-gratification. We are self-entitled. We're selfish. Self. We only care about ourselves. And then the other people that are in the world are enablers. So we have a group of individuals who are all about ourselves. And then we have the group of individuals that wants to take care of those people who are selfish. Where are the people in the middle? Where are the people in the middle? Where are the 5R recovery people that are like, this doesn't work. You need to figure it out on your own, and you need to stop giving things to people, right? That's the problem. That's the solution. We just separate it. Get them both in a room. Okay, let me see. We'll give you a random, Jane Doe, pull you in a room, and the facility that gives you your housing. And we sit them both down. And then I come in and say, look, why do you think it's their responsibility to take care of your housing? Well, I'm homeless and I don't have anywhere to go. So your choice. Okay. So again, all I'm hearing is your choice, that you're homeless and this is what happened to you and you made a bad decision. And thank you, Grammy. I didn't know you were watching. I love you. Mwah. That's the gap, right? That's the gap. So then we tell them that. And we sit them down and say, look, and then we go to this company and we say, look, your intentions are good, but you're giving too much to people who don't want to take any action themselves. What is this person having to do to work for this housing? Do they have to do anything? Or do they walk up to you and say, I'm homeless, I need vouchers, and you give it to them? That is not enough. And that is why we see an addiction problem. That is why we see an overwhelming amount of homelessness, because there is nothing that has to be done to gain all this stuff. Again, we need people with good intentions. That's not the problem. But we also need people to start taking on responsibility for their choices. They need to start working for things to get back in their lives. The ones that take care and do well in 5R recovery, they're the ones that have worked really, really hard on themselves. I have worked extremely hard on myself. So I don't mind if I come off as maybe a little arrogant or maybe a little prideful, because I've worked my ass off to be where I'm at today. I did everything I possibly could to get where I'm at today. And I grow every single day. And I help people the way people need help, with a stern choice decision, with a stern tone, and saying, look, you are loved, but it is not me that's supposed to take care of you. You need peace in here, and you need acceptance. You need to accept yourself and your situation for who you are and what you've gone through. And when you do that, you might be able to make some serious change. It doesn't mean I lack empathy or sympathy for people. I care about people. If you knew me in person, which most of my viewers do, I love helping people, but I help them the right way. I don't give them anything. I'm not going to give anybody anything ever. That doesn't make any sense. That's what people need, is they need to not get handouts all the time. Do you know how many clean and sober houses are in Snohomish County? I live in Washington. If you're watching this from afar, I live in Snohomish County. I live in Everett or Mukilteo, Washington. Do you know how many clean and sober houses there are? Do you know how many of those clean and sober houses compete for funding? Do you know how many of those programs compete for funding? This is supposed to be a reality check. That's what I want to bring to the table. I want to bring to you reality and make you understand why it is that our problem is ever growing and not getting better. And the reason is because the people who are out there trying to help are also competing for money. Competing for it. I have a nonprofit, 5R Recovery, nonprofit, 501c3. I will not compete for funding. I won't. If we don't get it, great. If we get it, great. But we will be very, very precise with what we do with it. We're not going to hire a bunch of people and have them quit their jobs and just start giving out vouchers. God, you know how much money you can receive from this state if you just give people things? You've created a revolving door. This revolving door is the reason why our cities, our towns, our schools, everything is overwhelmed with fentanyl and addiction because nobody is having these tough conversations. This is a tough conversation. It sucks to have. I'll give you another great example. We used to have people who were homeless who lost everything in a fire. Okay. Get some coffee. We used to have people that would lose everything in a fire, right? Or lose their jobs because of a struggle with the economy, right? And they would go to these places and they would receive funding. They would receive help by a church, right? A church building would be like, oh my gosh, you've lost it. And everybody would jump on board, right? They'd be like, let's help this lady. She has 2 kids. Her house burned down in a fire. Again, tragic, not her choice. She needs help. Let's help her, right? And everybody used to get together and they would help her. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the people on the outside would look at her and go, shoot, so if my house gets burned down, do you think they would help me the same way they helped her? Those are the people that are the problem. Not this lady who's lost everything and has gone through actual struggle, but she's like one out of like 50 because these other 49 people saw what she was getting and were like, oh, I could get a piece of that. We're raising a society of degenerates, of jerks, of people who don't want it. People hustling on the street for money when they drive a nice car and drive off. That is what we're saying. So, Johnny, what is your fix? We need a very, very deep, authentic, genuine, real assessment process. That's what we need. We need an assessment that lasts for 2 days, maybe 3 days. You come to me, I ask you as many questions as I possibly can before I give you anything. You might have to sit in a room with me in a bottle of water. Maybe we'll have a meal together. We'll break bread. I always like breaking bread with people, having a meal, sharing a meal, making eye contact. And I'm going to grill you for about 2 hours, almost like an interrogation. And during that 2 hours, I'm going to record the whole thing. I'm going to videotape it. I'm going to record it. And we're going to dissect everything that led you up until this point. We are going to remember where you came from. That is the 5R way. Remember absolutely everything. And then after you tell me your story, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. It's going to be very intricate. It's going to be very long. And then after that, I'm going to decide on whether or not you need help, where you should go, or if you need to leave my room that I interview you in. Now, I know, whoa, Johnny, that sounds like controversial interrogation, police type of stuff. What it means is that I recognize the audience in which has been presented to me. I know the people that come in and want to talk about these things. And it doesn't mean I don't care about them. It just means that I know they're liars. I know they're cheats. I know they're deceitful. And I know this because I was one of them. I'm not judging. I'm saying, open up your eyes, people, and understand what it is that we are facing. And if you really want to make a difference, if you really want to change the world the way we're doing, we need a lot more stronger people standing up for what's right and putting people in their place when they come to us and want help. I know that sounds like almost
I'm not going to say evil, but almost like a jerk mentality, but it's not. That's what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with the lady that got her house burned down. That woman deserves love and compassion and support and money. And because a crazy thing happened, there was a bad wiring in the walls. And oh my gosh, you're telling me that lady deserves the same thing as a guy who shoots heroin in an alley and steals from his parents and doesn't have a place to live and has 3 kids that he never sees? You're telling me that this guy gets the same as this? Absolutely not. Well, how do we determine this? Maybe a lie detector test. Maybe we lie detect every person that comes in and seeks help. Right? Find out who the liars are. I'm just throwing this stuff out there because I want people to understand. The topic for this was peace. I am at peace knowing that what I do is difficult and it has been a struggle because I can't always go to an island to make myself feel better. I need to learn how to have peace here. I need to learn how to unplug. I need to learn how to just calm down because the things that we are facing and I see every single day are not getting better. And when people ask us, well, what makes 5-hour recovery different? Me, our group, our program. We do not at any time stop being real with people. We don't. In fact, we probably get the most pushback and we probably get the least amount of people in our program because of that as well. The people that come to us have gone to other things and realized, well, crap, Johnny, we can get over here and do whatever we want. And then we come to you and we actually have to have hard work. And then people go, gosh, Johnny, why are you so competitive with all these other programs? Not as far as financially. I'm competitive with these other programs because I see them as enablers. I see them as giving people things that they don't deserve, that they haven't worked for. I'm not saying that the intention wasn't originally good, but if you make your living off feeding the homeless, that's how you survive. That's how you pay your own rent, is by feeding the homeless. That's a problem because you're not in any way, shape, or form trying to help them not be homeless. You're actually just giving them food, which is fine, right? They got to eat. But what are you doing beside that? Peace comes from here, and the real life decision needs to be made that we are in a struggle in the recovery community with the amount of ungrateful, self-absorbed individuals who seek nothing more than to just live and do whatever they want. It's tough to install responsibility in people who have done this for a long time. Our group last night was amazing. I went off on a tangent. I normally do. I'm passionate about this. I actually get calls from important people constantly asking me my opinion on things. And I say important because they can make decisions that ultimately change what we're doing. And when they ask me and I tell them all this stuff, they light up. They go, man, why? I get what you're saying. I totally get it. And I totally agree. And I'm like, if you totally agree, then why is it still happening? I really needed this weekend to get my thoughts straight and understand where I'm going to go from here. I'm going to spread this message everywhere. And I want people to really understand it. And I want people to believe in it and know that this is not going to get better. It's going to get worse until we start grouping together. So all the people that are feeding people, all the people that are driving people, all the treatment facilities, we all got to get on the same page. And I bet you $1 million that they don't agree with me. I bet you all of them have just created the revolving door so that they can have houses and families, and that's great. That's what they've done. It's going to take a lot of work, though. I'm Johnny Ray. Yes, having a cup of coffee. Figured I would start to record a video. It's been about a half hour. Thank you, Grammy, for chiming in and listening. I love you guys. I just think serious change needs to come with serious decisions, and these serious decisions are going to come from serious conversations. And it's about time. Tired of seeing it grow. And it's getting to be winter, so we know what's going to happen then. Hit subscribe, like my video, comment, let me know what you think. You know, I'm always up for a debate or a discussion. We want to help you, but we want you to help yourselves. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to do a video every Wednesday morning after the meeting. I said that before. So around, I don't know, 11 o'clock, try to chime in. I'll just randomly talk and babble about the stuff that's going on in our worlds. And who knows, maybe somebody will see it and say, yeah, I agree with that. And maybe they'll want to come on with me. So thank you for listening. Johnny Ray, 5R Recovery. Have a fantastic day, people.